Sometimes the rules book can seem inaccessible, but a great place to start in understanding rules, National Federation of High School Basketball rules, is to start with the case book. Case plays bring plays to life. That's a great place to start. As part of our preseason preparation, hitting the case book, getting a better understanding of the rules is a great use of our time as we prepare for the upcoming season. That's what we're going to do today, is look at casebook plays. Greetings. Welcome back to another episode of the Basketball Rules Expert, the show where we take National Federation of High School Basketball rules, lift them off the printed page, breathe life into them, simplify, clarify, amplify, so that we can take them with us onto the basketball court. Greetings again, everybody. My name is Greg Austin with abetterofficial.com. I've been a high school basketball official here in the San Francisco Bay Area for over a decade. I consider myself to be a basketball rules expert, and this show is about helping you on a journey to becoming a basketball rules expert as well. Now would be a great time to hit like, subscribe, notify, so you don't miss out on any of our new content. We live stream at least twice a week. Join us for the live stream. Share the Basketball Rules Expert Show with other officials so that we can all get better together. This show is brought to you by a phenomenal group of show supporters: Tom Hennian, Les O'Connor, Chris Williams, Jim Kane, and the phenomenal Philharmonic. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? You can always buy us a coffee. There will be a link in the show notes below. Thank you so much to our show supporters. All right, today we are looking at case plays. We're going to take just a random look at the case plays. So there's many approaches we could take in approaching the case book. One is I'm going to look at all of the foul case plays. I can look at all of the violation case plays. I'm going to look at all of the definition case play. All right, we can have a specific focus. Another is we could just say, okay, random case play. Let me see if I can get the ruling. Another one, random. Did I get the ruling? Random, right? That's what we're going to do today. Let's just take a look at some random case plays and see if we can get better as basketball officials. Where is the ball awarded to the offended team when prior to the bonus, A, while trying for goal, A1 charges into B1 and then releases the ball and it goes through Team A's basket, or B, airborne shooter A1 charges into B1, after which A1 touches the ball while it is in the cylinder? Right, so we have two play scenarios, and we're wondering where is the ball awarded for the resulting throw-in after these plays, right? We have a airborne shooter A1 charges into B1, and while trying for a goal, A1 charges into B1, and then releases, right? So we have two separate play scenarios. We need to know when the ball becomes dead in these scenarios, and what the ruling is and how to resume the game with the resulting throw-in. So if we look at the first play, while trying for goal, A1 charges B1 and then releases the ball and it goes through the basket, right? So when A1 charged into B1, that is a player control foul that causes the ball to become dead. No goal can be scored. So what happens when the player releases the ball and it goes in the basket? That was during a dead ball. That does not apply. And in B, airborne shooter A1 charges into B1, after which A2 touches the ball while it's in the cylinder. Okay? Well, that's goaltending, or that's basket interference, right? Is it? We'd have to know when the ball becomes dead. If the ball is dead, that action has no bearing. If we take a look at the ruling on this play, in both A and B, the goal does not count, and the throw-in by B will be from the spot nearest the foul. All right, our first play, pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at another random case play from the casebook. While A1 is attempting a final free throw, B1 enters the lane too soon, followed by A2, both of whom are in marked lane spaces, or B1 in a marked lane space enters the lane too soon, then shooter A1 steps on the free throw line while releasing the throw. Two great play scenarios, and one that forces us to know the restrictions during free throws, right? Free throws happen a lot in our game. We need to know those restrictions, okay? In our first instance, in A, B1 enters the lane too soon, followed by A2. Both of them are in marked lane spaces. What do we know about players in marked lane spaces? When the opponent enters too soon from a marked lane space, followed by a teammate of the thrower, only the first violation is recognized. This would be a delayed free throw violation. A delayed free throw violation. And we would ignore the action by A2 in this instance. In the second instance, B1 violates, delayed violation, followed by the thrower committing a violation. This would be simultaneous violations by rule. The free throw has ended, and we would go to what happens next. Now, NFHS says, in this instance where the opponent violates and then the thrower violates, we need to strongly consider whether or not the opponent's actions were distracting. If the distraction is ruled, then we're going to ignore the violation by the free thrower, and a substitute free throw will be awarded. All right, let's take a look at our ruling. I see. And then when I'm going to do a ruling, in A, the violation by A2 is ignored, and if the try is successful, the goal shall count, and violation by B1 shall be ignored. If the try is unsuccessful, the ball shall become dead when the free throw ends, and a substitute free throw shall be attempted by A1 under the same conditions as those for the original free throw. In B, a double violation is ruled and the ball is put in play using the alternating possession procedure. Comment, anytime the defense violates first, followed by a violation by the free thrower, the officials should consider the possibility of distraction. So something I forgot in the original premise, while A1 is attempting a final free throw. 4.37.1. While A1's try or tap is in flight, A2 and B2 legally obtain potential rebounding positions. B2's position has his or her back to A2 and is directly between A2 and the basket. As the unsuccessful try or tap rebounds from the ring, B2 moves backward and displaces A2 from his or her legal position, or B, A2 beats B2, getting his or her head and shoulders past the front of B2's torso. B2 then moves laterally and pushes or displaces A2. Right? So it's a simple displacement equation. Let's take a look, though. NFHS beats B2? Oh, that imprecise language. NFHS, what are we going to do with you? Okay, it's really a question of who displaces whom. Who displaces who, right? That's a simple equation. Displacement is a fundamental illegal activity in the game of high school basketball. Displacement is a foul. It's very straightforward. Let's see our ruling on this play. A foul on B2 in both A and B. So in B, A2 beats B2, getting to his or her head or shoulders past the front of B2's torso. B2 then moves laterally and displaces. And in the first play, B2 backs into the player and displaces. But the key is that in both situations, displacement has occurred. Displacement is a foul. Very straightforward. Ruling on the play. Were the officials correct? We don't know. To our very next case play. While A1's three-point field goal attempt is in flight, A3 fouls B1. B is not in the bonus. The three-point field goal attempt is successful. Okay? Ball is in flight. Teammate of the thrower, of the player who released the try, commits a foul, right? When a foul occurs while a try is in flight, does the ball become dead, right? We need to understand when the ball becomes dead and when it doesn't. When a try is in flight and a foul occurs, the ball does not become dead. The result of the try will count. That's our first step in this equation. Since Team B is not in the bonus, Team B will be awarded a throw-in nearest the spot of the foul. We're going to score the goal, award and enforce the foul, report the foul, and award a throw-in to Team B, the spot nearest the foul. Score the three-point goal. Team B will be permitted. Oh, Greg. Come on, ref. Oh, got me. Oh, that's tremendous. Okay. All right. Team B will be permitted to move along the end line on the ensuing throw-in. That's the actual point of the case play here. And it caught me. So in this situation, NFHS says that the ability by Team B to move on the end line after the resulting three-point goal supersedes awarding the ball for a designated spot throw-in due to the foul. That's our takeaway on this case play, right? So that's the point of the case play, right? And that's also why case plays are in existence. Is we have the rules, but situations have come up. We need clarification about the rules, right? It's not a simple, let's just make up play scenarios that reflect the rules. Here are play scenarios that have occurred, and we are going to potentially provide, NFHS says we're going to potentially provide additional rulings about how to handle situations or clarification thereof. This clause that says Team B will be permitted to move may be buried in the rule or obscured by language, etc., that could make it hard to understand. So we're going to score the three-point goal. Team B will be permitted to move along the end line on the ensuing throw-in. So even though the result of a foul in this instance would be a designated spot throw-in nearest the spot of the foul, in this instance, the scoring of the goal and the freedom allowed to move supersedes that. Who's learned something today? Oh, I would have kicked this one. Ay. I see. Article 7 occurs by any opponent of a player who... Yeah. This is exactly why the case play is there. It helps clarify in very simple terms something that is in the rules book, that's going to be really inaccessible for a lot of people, right? This sort of obscure situation, is again obscured even more by legalese and rules book language. So NFHS does a great job in this instance of having a case play which is simple and clarifies, score the 3-point goal for A1. Team B will be permitted to move along the end line for the resulting throw-in. That is fantastic. Well, our so-called expert learned something on that play. Let's take a look at our very next play scenario. While A1 is dribbling in A's backcourt, the ball legally touches B1's leg, causing it to bounce away from A1. A1 quickly recovers the ball with two hands and then starts another dribble. That's a great scenario, one that forces us to understand the rules about dribbling. Player is dribbling the basketball. Ball contacts the opponent, bounces away, dribbler picks up the ball. Can the player dribble again legally? Understanding when a dribble starts and when a dribble ends is key to this equation. When the ball is contacted by the opponent, the dribble has ended by rule. So in this instance, the player is legally allowed to pick up the basketball and resume their dribble. Also in this instance, the 10-second count in the backcourt has not ended by the contact of the opponent. So the official should maintain a 10-second count in this instance. If we look at the same scenario, if the dribbler had had an interrupted dribble where they dribbled the ball off of their foot and the ball bounced away in the same fashion, they picked it up with two hands and began a dribble. In that instance, the dribble had not ended until they picked the ball up, and once they did, they could not dribble again. Let's take a look at our ruling in the case book. Legal. I'm going to do this. Legal. The touch by B1 ended the original dribble, and A1 could then recover and dribble again. However, the touch by B1 did not end team control, and the 10-second backcourt count continues. Right? Simple play, one that we're going to see in our game a lot. I'm going to go here. Simple play, one that we're going to see in our game a lot. But it just reinforces the fact of understanding that contact by the opponent ends the dribble by rule, right? So I'm dribbling, defense reaches out, even slightly deflects the ball. That original dribble has ended by rule. Subsequently, the player can catch the ball, dribble again, right? There's no restriction on that carries over from the fact that they previously were dribbling. So an excellent reminder in this scenario. We want that metronome going. I always say, let's keep it going a count too long, so that when something funny, something unusual happens in the backcourt, we have a chance to process and say, no, the count needs to continue to go. Hey, can I ask you a quick favor? If you're finding this video content valuable, take just a second. Hit the like button below. Really helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps to get the video in front of more basketball officials so that we can all get better together. People's understanding of what an interrupted dribble is a little loose, shall we say. An interrupted dribble is when a player dribbling the ball loses control of the ball by themselves, right? I'm dribbling, the ball deflects off my thigh, my knee, my ankle. I'm dribbling. I just dribbled, at an angle. The ball hits the edge of my hand and bounces away, etc. This is an interrupted dribble by a dribbler. When the defense contacts the ball, it is not an interrupted dribble. The dribble has ended by rule. Okay, let's take a look at our next play scenario. While attempting a throw-in, A1 holds the ball through the plane of the end line. B1 slaps the ball away from A1's hands or simply grabs the ball and then throws it through B's basket. Certainly a point of emphasis during throw-in week. There will be a link above to our full playlist on throw-in rules and restrictions where we covered this kind of play in depth. If you have any question on throw-in plays, follow that link to that playlist. So, A1 holds the ball through the plane of the end line, right? So first of all, during throw-ins, thrower cannot penetrate the plane on the edge of the court and extend through the plane legally with any part of their body. But the thrower can extend the ball through the plane. And this creates a unique situation, right? We have to recognize this is a very uncommon situation, but one that is legal. It's legal for the thrower to extend the ball through. Let's get this off my head. Come on, get it up. And the rules have to sort of reflect this this unique situation. So in play A, the defender slaps the ball from A1's hands, or B, simply grabs the ball, takes it away, and scores. Both of these plays are legal. I would ask, have you had this second scenario happen in your game where a thrower extended the ball and the defense took it away from them and scored? Has anybody had that? Put a comment in the comments below if you have. What a unique situation, and one that's our brain is going to have to say, oh my gosh, what is occurring on this play? Because what's going to be the energy in the gym if that happens? It's going to be berserk, right? It's going to be crazy stuff. So let's look at our ruling on this play. In A, no violation has occurred and play continues. And in B, implied, no violation has occurred and scored 2 points for Team B. Also, expect a timeout by the Team A coach. Anticipate that. The twist, instead of dislodging the ball, the ball is extended through the plane. The defender contacts the wrist. I'm going to go with wrist for simplicity. That is an intentional foul by rule. No delay of game warning would be issued, right? It is an intentional foul to contact the thrower. The fact that the thrower extends the ball through the plane does not eliminate that restriction. It is an intentional foul by rule to contact the thrower. 2 free throws for the offended player. Ball for that team at a throw-in at the spot nearest the foul would be the result of that. Unlike a situation where we reach through the plane and dislodge the ball or cause a foul, there is no delay of game warning associated in that instance. Cool. Let's look at another play. Well, this is simple. When may the scorer signal? Right? So we give our officials, provide instructions for the table crew about what is expected and needed from them during the game. Come on, Riff. And what are the instances where the scorer may signal to the officials that the game needs to be stopped? Let's take a look at the language used here. If the scorer desires to call attention to a player who is illegally in the game, he or she may signal the official when the ball is in control of that player's team. If it is for a substitution, the scorer may signal when the ball next becomes dead and the clock is stopped. If it is for conferring with an official, he or she may signal when the ball is dead. If the scorer signals while the ball is live, the official should ignore the signal if a scoring play is in progress. Otherwise, the official may stop play to determine the reason for the scorer's signal, right? So the scorer recognize, and the scorer by signaling, of course, is going to, tap the timer on the shoulder and say, sound a horn, sound a horn. Or the scorer is going to signal by saying, hey ref, right? Or some want to get the attention of the official in a situation where the ball is live. So a player is illegally in the game. We would want that signal to come when that team has the ball. It's putting a lot of pressure on the scorer to know these restrictions. But when their opponent has the ball or when a scoring situation is imminent, officials are not going to pay attention to this. We don't want that this action to interrupt the game. If we have a situation where a coach has come to the table and says, I need a timeout, they're making a mistake, they're screwing up a rule, they want a correctable error situation, it would be the same. We want the scorer to, through the timer, to give some sort of signal that the officials need to stop the game, something is amiss. If it's for a substitution, obviously we want to wait until the ball's dead at the appropriate time to sound a horn for a substitution. And if it's for conferring, he or may signal when the ball is dead. Of course, this would not apply for a correctable error situation where the indication should come immediately. The official should ignore the attempt to signal if a scoring play is in progress. That's going to be a challenging thing to make a determination, but we don't want to stop. The opponent is going down for a layup, and there's a player who's illegally in the game. Let's say they have been disqualified with 5 fouls. They have been brought into the game. We've resumed play. The other team is about to score. The scorer recognizes. We don't want to stop that scoring action as officials on that play. Wow, such a simple question. Okay, so I'm going to knock that down, go there. When a scorer is going to stop the game, interrupt the game, it's almost always going to be in that instance, I would think. Or rather than the coach is requesting, the scorer recognizes, oh, hey, wait a minute. That was the 7th team foul. We should have been shooting bonus, etc. Sometimes a scorer will do that erroneously. Let's say it was a team control foul. We're awarding the ball to the other team. They inbound the ball. Let's say they are potentially in a scoring play scenario, and the scorer says, oh, I made a mistake. That was actually the 7th foul. And they, didn't recognize that we wouldn't shoot free throws. And they say, hey, sound the horn, right? Then we're really, as officials, in a position of saying, okay, wait, let that score, stop play, what do you have table, etc., and go from there. Let's take a look at a final play scenario. With 2 seconds on the clock in the 4th quarter, A1 is awarded 1 free throw with Team B leading 68-67. A1 throws the ball against the backboard and it ricochets off the ring with such force that A1 secures the rebound. A1's try for goal is successful as time expires. Is that a legal play? Right? So it sounds like in this situation, our free thrower throws the ball against the backboard and it ricochets off the ring, right? This is a situation where they are down by 2 seconds remaining, and they have 1 free throw remaining, right? This is our miss on purpose scenario, right? It's an essential part of the game of basketball. We see it at all levels, right? It's the only opportunity this team has to win the game is to intentionally miss the free throw. Is intentionally missing a free throw legal? It was the action of the ball in this instance hitting the backboard, then the ring, and then caroming back to the free thrower legal? Yes, it's all legal, right? It's legal by rule. If they had forcibly, rather than taking a normal free throw motion, had done something like an inbounds pass kind of throw, a chest pass throw or overhead throw or anything like that, as long as the ball contacts the ring, it is legal by rule. This team would have tied this game, and we would result by going to overtime. Let's take a look at the ruling on the play. Legal goal by A1. The clock started when A1 touched the ball. The clock started legally. The goal was scored legally. Tie the score. We're going to overtime. A great scenario. Great scenario. It's hard to get the ball to Karam properly in this instance. You see, it would be easy to imagine this scenario. The player throws it, trying to miss, trying to create that Karam that gives the offensive team, the teammates of the thrower, a chance to control the ball and have a chance to win the game. Easy to imagine the scenario where the ball does not contact the ring. It hits the backboard and caroms back to the thrower, who releases a try. Maybe the clock starts, the ball goes in, people go crazy, right? It all happens very quickly, but we're coming in with a whistle, right? The clock should not have started. It is a violation by rule. We're going to enforce the violation, etc. We need to fix that clock, right? 2 seconds, even though that's a really limited amount of time in that situation. But we want to make sure that the clock is correct. And of course, to know that the clock is correct, we need to know what the clock said before the free throw attempt. One of the basics, that timestamp in all dead ball situations that we have as basketball officials. Thanks for joining us today for Basketball Rules Expert. Have to thank our fantastic show supporters, Tom Hennian, Les O'Connor, Chris Williams, Jim Kane, and Phil Harmonic. Much appreciated and much love. You can always support the show by heading over to betterofficial.com/coffee. There will be a link above and in the show notes below. Fantastic. Additional video content available here. Make your choice. Choose wisely. We'll see you in the very next video. Take care.